to talk about next? My escapades or your escapades?
Do yours, because I haven't done anything new this week besides the thing that we both have done a little bit.
All right, so this past week, I got a VR headset. So I bought the Rift S. The Oculus
You did,
Rift.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
huge, actually.
I know, and I was stuck for a while going between the Quest and which is that wireless hands-free one, right? But it has a link cable that you can hook to your computer and wire it using the power of your PC's power.
Yeah, kind of boost it a little bit.
Yeah, and then you can play the PC game versions of the games. But it also has like a different store.
It's got its own kind of like built-in.
Wireless built-in store for only the wireless games that you're not plugged into.
But you didn't go with the Quest.
I did not go with that. And they're the same price. So like it's not like it would have mattered. But I went with the Rift S because I'm not going to – it's not something I want to bring around. And it's something I want to make sure will work really well with my computer.
Sure.
It has a higher refresh rate for your eye for the eye monitors, right? Because you need that in a VR game because you don't want to get that's part of the reason why you get sick.
It's part of the reason why I got sick trying it on the PS4
Well,
every
here's
time.
the thing, Felix.
Can I come over and try it on
The
yours?
PS4
I got good news for you.
struggled
The
to even
Rift,
hit 90.
I can bring it here and plug it into your machine, and it would work just fine.
I think we should try it. I want you to bring it over.
The Rift S, compared to the PSVR, it has a higher resolution display and a higher refresh rate. So you're seeing a crisper image, and you don't get that refresh
The
rate
screen door effect,
tear. Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I think I need to try.
You need to play a good one.
Yeah, I just need to try VR on an optimized set.
Yeah.
So that I can experience what it really feels like. Because PSVR is just, I'm starting to realize it's just trash for me and causes headaches.
It's a very low bar hardware.
Yeah, I mean, it gets the job done, but there's a lot of corners that it does cut to make that happen. And when you experience like a full-on system,
It's an
like what you
experience,
have,
yeah.
like I have the Vive personally. I have the very first Vive. When you are in a system that's designed for as full immersion as possible,
Utilizing the power of whatever your PC can handle.
it does.
Yeah.
It is. You can actually experience difference for sure.
So, man, what an experience this thing is, dude. You put the thing on, like Oculus has its own like environment that boots up.
Yeah.
So you put your headset on, and it's like you're in like a nice apartment.
Yep.
And it's got like all the things and like your hands. It's like one-to-one movement, and your fingers. It knows that you're opening and closing them.
Your Rift has the things that like a circle goes around.
Yes.
Does that enable like individual finger movement in
Not
the game?
fully. I think it's something they're going to update later.
Got it.
Full like hand tracking is a thing
yeah.
without controllers. That it'll just know your hands are
Oh,
there.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
not available yet.
Yeah.
But the controllers
Good
themselves,
concept, though.
it recognizes my thumbs and these three fingers, more or less. It's these are the fingers that it recognizes.
So you have
moving.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah, and a grip. But like
Well,
for example,
well, that's good.
Yes, exactly. But so like when I open because you got to hold the controller. When you open these fingers in the games, it'll look like you're opening your whole hand for certain things like grabbing a gun and something or something. But man, playing like the first thing I did was play around in that room. It has a whole bar at the bottom that like spreads out in front of you, going, okay, do I want to look at my desktop? Because it can pull your desktop up. Do I want to pull up other windows? And all of a sudden I'm in Minority Report, and I'm like, oh, I'll just move my desktop to my right, and then I'll see the game library over here. And then like, oh, Steam VR. I can boot up Steam VR, which is another environment, which I've seen you play in.
Yes.
When you did the Falcon Age stream.
Which, of course, I only have the option of being in that environment.
Because of the
So
Vive.
it's cool. You have more environments
Yeah,
than I do.
yeah.
You're inceptioning your environment.
I know, and I think the Steam VR one's a lot cooler, even though it doesn't include the desktop view and use feature.
No, you need a separate app. Like I bought like the virtual desktop thing.
And I was going to buy that until I saw Oculus just had, I can just
There's a
use
viewer
my
for it,
desktop.
which is nice.
Because it's cool because like if I need to get to my desktop, I can just like at one point someone was like messaging me on Discord, and I was like, oh, I'm wearing this headset right now. I'm just gonna boop. And then there's like the keyboard pops up in front of you, and you don't need to click anything. You just go move your fingers up and down, and then you're typing on the keyboard. And I'm
Nice.
like, how is this so intuitive that it knows that I'm using it like
the
that?
Vives they essentially split the keyboard down the middle.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like point over the letters in each hand when you're typing inside of that environment.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
That's
you're
cool.
good with the desktop thing because you'd have to launch the Oculus Home and then go into the Steam Home, then open the Steam app.
the
If
app,
you got
yeah.
it built in, you got to keep rocking
But
that.
playing like I bought 2 Steam games so far to play on VR. and I'm gonna go. I don't want to go nuts right away. Like I'm gonna play a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know I gotta pace myself because main purpose of getting this was I want to play that Half-Life
Yep.
Alex game. And I'm barely meeting the minimum requirements to play it. So like I don't even know if I'm gonna be capable of it.
Sure.
VR runs perfectly fine on my
What's
machine.
your graphics card?
980 Ti.
Oh, wow.
The requirement for Alex is 12 gigs of computer RAM, a 1050,
Uh-huh. Bare
1060?
minimum, yeah.
I think, graphics
Twelve-
card
12 gigs
of computer RAM at least,
but not video RAM.
not video RAM. Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
Just
real
Damn,
quick.
I'm going to have to actually upgrade my RAM this year.
Actually, my RAM's really cheap right now. I could get another 16 gigs for $60.
I don't even
I
know
think
what
I need to
got
do
in
that. I'm running 16 now. I should double it.
Yeah, I agree. Half-Life,
I should double it.
Alex.
I'm
Requirements.
good on my graphics card because I got a 2080 last year,
Yeah,
last
you're
January. so
definitely good.
I'm chilling there, but
Um,
I need space to run it, baby.
Yeah, so
I have 16 gigs of RAM.
I played 60. Yeah, so 12 is the minimum. 1060 graphics minimum. 6 gigs of VR of VRAM,
Yeah.
which my card just makes.
Card RAM.
When you
yeah.
say 1060, you're referring to NVIDIA?
The NVIDIA 1060. Yeah,
I have passed that, right?
you do.
You do.
But also you got to check benchmarks too, because certain
I'm not.
cards
I'm-
perform. That's something I did like earlier.
He waves his hand and goes,
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
not.
doing that. I look at that shit. all
You're
the time.
saying words I'm not. No,
Anyway,
I'm not.
so
I'm not actually. I'm being rhetorical
I
here.
I
man.
get it. I'm fine.
I'm not fucking.
So the first thing I played was, of course, Steam's The Lab. Valve's
The lab was my first experience too, and
Holy shit, dude!
it's the perfect. Isn't it the perfect like
Intro.
example of what VR can be
Oh
for
my!
across the
Oh
board?
my god, dude! All right, first thing I did, the tower defense arrow game.
So good.
That was so much fun. I was the whole
So
time I'm
good.
like playing the arrow theme song in my head, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like firing arrows, and it's just doing it. I'm just doing it. Like aiming's a little tough. I got to get used to it, but
Yep.
like, man, is it fun? And it looks like I'm standing on this place looking over because you can lean forward.
You're on
and
like
look down.
a castle like parapet,
You're on like a rook.
and
whatever
you
that
have
is.
you have these little like the Valve stick figures. The best way to put it, like the very stylized Portal 2.
Portal
figures.
2.
They're essentially running at a door in waves, and you have to just shoot them,
These guys.
pick them off with arrows.
These
Oh,
guys.
okay, I
These guys
see.
are running through.
Yeah, and then they get more and more difficult. They start wearing helmets, and your arrows dink off their helmets. Like it's pretty good, man. It's like a really really fun game.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I did. The next thing I did was, it was like a Portal 2 tie-in thing. I don't know, because you pick up these.
You
pick
build
up
the
these-
robot thing.
You pick up these orbs and you throw them in your face.
That's
and
how you
go
enter the worlds.
You go inside these little mini games, and it was the Atlas and Peabody robots.
Yep.
From Portal 2. These are
And
the.
it's the like the interaction one where you're building something, right? Or like
Yeah. Well, they make you like
you build a robot,
like in Portal fashion. I don't think I did.
or
that. In Portal fashion, there's some guy telling you to do things, right? And you do it, and they go, you're stupid. You did it wrong, right? Like
Yeah.
in just Portal fashion.
yeah,
And what happens is Peabody comes out and they like go, okay, you got to take him apart and repair him because he's not feeling good.
I think
And-
this is the same thing that I was talking
And
about.
he's
yeah.
this robot.
Yep. Yes, this is 100% the thing because all of this is really like an experience.
Right, exactly.
They guide
So-
you through the step by steps of this thing.
So Felix, this robot, he comes forward on this tray and he goes, okay, you got to open him up and fix him. And my God, was this fucking cool.
What are those fucking robots doing?
They're hugging.
They're hugging. They're friendly
They're
robots.
friends. They're the co-op robots from Portal 2.
Oh,
If you
okay.
play with a friend,
I thought they were doing something else.
They're just friends.
they're just friends.
Okay,
And this little blue one
Nothing
comes out.
sexual. They're just friends.
They're just friends.
got it.
And you pulled his eyeball out, and you spread his parts out, and it spreads out like a blueprint.
It's very much like Iron Man when he's building
Yes.
his models, and you see all the exploded view of all the little pieces that go in.
exactly like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna put my head in it, and I just put my head forward in it and look around. And this guy's talking. He's like saying things like, "Oh, he's gonna explode if you don't fix his power core in a second." He's counting down real fast like a joke, and I'm like, ah ha ha, funny. But like, you can spin his parts and you can move it and like you can touch it.
Yeah, that's like the most tech demo-y one.
Yeah.
It's still really fun, but
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's like an experience you kind of go through. Did you play the slingshot with the brain cores? The slingshot game?
Didn't get to that one.
It
Did not
uses
get
it
those.
uses the cores from Portal 2. You know how they all
Cool.
the different personality
Yeah,
cores?
yeah.
And you have to launch them in a giant warehouse at stacks of boxes, and of course like knock down more boxes with more heads.
That's fun.
But because they're using the personality cores, every time you load one up, you get different dialogue from the personality cores, like one like who's
Nolan
ready to
North's one of
go.
them.
One's like fucking ready to kill all the boxes. And one's like, don't let me
Howdy,
go.
partner.
Don't let me go. I
You
don't want
got
to go.
Cowboy.
Yeah,
Cowboy
they're all
core?
there. They're all
Oh,
there,
man.
dude.
I love that. And then I was about to start the magic shop one. There's like this magic shop thing. But then I was like, I don't got time to poke around in here, so I had to turn it off
I forget that.
at that point.
I've been in all of them. For
The
sure.
next session I played, so that was about what I took away from the lab. The next session I played was Super Hot. It's the next thing I did.
Love it
You played that game?
in VR. Yeah,
You played it in VR? Oh, man.
on
What
the PS4.
Yeah, of course. I assume it's the same experience, but, man, that's fun. It's really cool.
That's
love it.
bullets
Very
and things
Matrix.
only move when you move.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Very fun. I played that for a good, 30 minutes before I wanted to play Beat Saber.
Yeah.
And that's my game. That's my game right there. Because as a former DDR pro, reliving my past life.
To
in
the
new
listeners
age,
out there, Neo Yoshi is not kidding when he calls himself a DDR pro.
I got video proof.
He's out of control.
I went
kind
to
of.
Dave & Buster's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but you've been doing
I'm
it
out
for
of shape.
years.
I'm out
Like,
of shape.
It was you when you were a kid. Like, that
Yeah.
was your big thing.
Yeah. But even here's the funny thing: going on to Dave & Buster's and hopping on a DDR machine, I still got it. I can still do it. My old ass body
It's
no.
not keeping up with
You're
you.
not.
Yeah.
You're not that good anymore.
You
But
can get back there if you focus on it.
I know, I
But
have to do
who
it,
has the time?
I do it every day if I could. My neighbors wouldn't like that if I did that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's your life.
Beat Saber I can play because it's a guy got a headset on and all the things are in my vision. And
Played Beat Saber too.
you played that? It's for anyone who doesn't know. It's the most popular
Really,
VR game.
really
pretty much.
fucking
It's
hard.
the top seller.
You
on-
hold
everything.
things that are
Lightsabers.
not lightsabers,
Yeah.
but they're lightsabers, and they're like one's blue, one's red. You have to hit patterns as they come at you, kind of like a virtual Guitar Hero kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So what I want to do is
It's like Guitar Hero combined with Star Wars combined with Fruit Ninja.
yes,
Yeah, that's
and DDR.
Pretty
'cause
solid.
It's a rhythm game. Oh, it's my baby.
pretty solid.
So what I want to do is I want to get a whole list of songs, custom songs
Yeah.
on there, and get on stream and just
Oh, that'd be
just fucking
cool.
nail
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I actually need your help. How do I
Capturing and
how do
stuff.
I capture that?
It's more complicated than it should be, but there's a couple different ways depending on how your computer
And
is
then
set up to stream.
how
So
do I
we'll-
get my stream chat in there so I don't ignore them?
we'll-
That's the second.
We'll do all of that.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
for
Because
sure.
I'll need your help with that.
Yep.
Because I want to do a whole VR
Can't
thing.
you get that in your heads up?
You can.
There-
I
yeah,
saw him
there's
do it.
it's
Yeah.
all a different third-party app situation you got to download and set up depending on model and of course.
Yeah, so I'm
stream
gonna
rate.
need all them details.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am very excited to do more VR stuff. I
Didn't
want to
you
get.
play No Man's Sky? You did that, didn't you?
I booted up for a minute, and what I ended up doing was I spawned right on the planet that you live on, that we built your bridge on. and
Our
everything.
bridge,
yeah,
yeah.
our planet.
This is a sidebar, but
Yeah.
I need you to give me permission to build over your
Did I not do
claimed lands.
that? I thought I did that.
If
thought
you
I
did,
went in and
I
checked
still
the
can't.
box.
Well, I'll check again, but
Hey, you give me an excuse to pop that headset in and hop in that game and do that thing, I'll do it.
we're
I'm
trying
there,
to
man.
build a
I'm
planet
there.
of all the emerging gamer community in one big city.
Oh, I'm there, man. What you know?
Did
What
you
I
guys
did?
put a post in the ground that says the emerging gamer community?
think-
or-
I
Can
could
you
make
do
a
that?
big sign.
You could make a sign.
I built a
out of
highway.
blocks.
I told you about this, haven't I?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
built a
yeah.
literal, gigantic,
Oh, I heard.
canyon-spanning bridge.
So here's what I did in No Man's Sky with the VR headset on. I spawned right in my area, walked through my home that I built, looked at my ship, walked around, looked at the environment and everything, and then I got in my ship and I just sat there
You're
for
just
for 5 minutes,
shit,
going look at this, turning around, look at this cockpit. I can't
You know what was fun for me
can-
personally?
move around like
Being
this.
in there, finding out how to get out.
Yeah,
Because it's different than
It's very
there's not a
different.
button that you hit. You actually
No.
have to physically find the handlebar and yank it towards you.
Yep, it's true. And there's one on both sides of my ship at least.
Yep.
And in order to fly it, you have to put your hand, your controller hand
One's
out,
your throttle and
and
one's your joystick, your
Yeah.
flight stick, and you have to actually keep
manu-
your hands there, that's the awkward part.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's here.
Yeah,
But other than that, it works really well. Like in terms of
it's intuitive.
movement and
Yeah.
motion, because it's literally forward back for your throttle, and then it just
Yep.
steer
So I took myself to space, looked at the asteroids, looked at ships come into your peripheral, and I flew around them, and I was like, oh, look at me do a flyby right now, and because you can do things that you couldn't do with the keyboard and controller. You can kind of drift sideways and then kind of drift a little.
it's a whole different thing. Yeah.
I need to install Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous is a lot in VR.
It's because already that game is
a lot of switches.
lots of
Yeah.
controls.
Whenever I boot up, it's like once every like 6 months. I'm like, I'm gonna play this in VR, and I spend my like 2 hours
learning controls.
peeking out of my headset, like where the fuck? Oh yeah, and then like putting it back on, and it's that, and then I'm like, all right, it's time to go to sleep.
For that, I'm
and
gonna
then I
have to-
forget. I don't play it for like 6
For that,
months.
I'll actually have to bring out like my HOTAS.
Yeah.
But the problem is I can't see the HOTAS on my desk. That might be a problem.
You can strap him to your chair like a real true nerd. Have him living there on your arms.
Yeah, but then I need to know where my keyboard placement is for different things like landing gear.
You're just gonna have to
What
build
the
yourself a whole
Fuck's a
wooden.
HOTAS.
Hands-on throttle and stick.
Thank you. I couldn't remember what the acronym was.
It's essentially.
You play with your HOTAS a lot?
I wish I played with my HOTAS a lot. This is what a HOTAS looks like.
It's a flight stick, but one you can connect to like.
Oh,
a-
this is
I see
This
it
is the
now.
one I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
The Thrustmaster.
cheapo
You
Thrustmaster.
put your hands on
Get
that
your
Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster now.
You
Yeah.
put your hands on that Thrustmaster.
It's
I
it's
do.
a two-handed Thrustmaster.
Um,
You've got throttle in the left hand, and you got your control in the
They're
right.
like spot on. They're like proctologists who are making ass jokes.
Yeah.
Like that company.
What company?
The company making that
Thrustmaster.
are like proctologists making ass jokes all the time. Because they're just like, we know that you're going to make sexual jokes about our Thrustmaster, so we might as well just call it the fucking Thrustmaster.
Why proctologist though? Out of all the
Have you ever been to a proctologist? Oh, you probably haven't yet.
no.
Most proctologists that I've been to are constant with the ass jokes. Like, it's so fucking weird.
So, like
They
such a very specific
Dude,
lane.
they have the funniest sense of humors. But I've now, so completely different cultural backgrounds. I went to an Asian proctologist, this guy, and I went to like a white American guy.
Uh-huh.
All right,
I'm scared of where it's
I'm
going.
both
so
of them,
scared.
But
both
continue.
of them, constant with the fucking weird, hilarious
Butt
ass
jokes.
jokes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be, I can't even remember any of them, but they were just funny. They put you at ease with it
Right.
because they know that
Well, you got some guy
nobody.
digging around your ass.
Like,
so
We
the
know
most-
nobody wants
The
to
more
be here.
at ease you are, the better.
Like proctologists are notoriously laid-back dudes.
Yeah.
Because they know fully what they got themselves into.
True.
They got themselves into everyone's ass.
it's true.
Like,
Hands in the ass.
but that's what I'm saying about the Thrustmaster people. They just called it Thrustmaster.
They sure
'Cause they're
did.
like, we know what we're making. We're making something that's very sexually suggestive. So we just got to own
I'm
it.
on board with the analogy now.
gets
I just
right
wondered
in
where
there.
the proctologist
It's a good
came
one.
from. But thank you for
So
explaining.
anyway,
I earth-two'd that one. Sorry.
You did.
I
It's
will
okay.
I will play more No Man's Sky, just to use
It's
the
it's
just
wild,
use it.
dude. It's wild.
and just see what it's like to play that because I didn't really
Doesn't
play the game.
everything look bigger though in VR? Like
you feel smaller.
you actually get the
for
sense
sure.
of scale. Like your
Yeah.
ship looks bigger.
It
Even
does.
like the refiner.
Yeah.
When I put that on the ground, I was like, this thing is huge.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like I mean, that must just be a product of you being in the environment.
Yeah, like actually seeing it relative space or size, I should say, to like a human.
Exactly.
there,
Yeah, that seems right. And like because you're looking at everything through a screen normally, so it's like now you're in it
Yeah.
almost. It's just like a weird, mind-boggling thing to like wrap your mind
crazy.
around. And the last thing I played was Minecraft in VR.
Oh, nice.
Which is the thing, and I joined the LC server, which I'm in, and just looked at everyone's structure. I didn't do anything. I just like went to everyone's structures and went,
yeah.
"Whoa, this is Minecraft, and I'm in it."
Yep.
And it was just really weird.
I'm in
it
the
was
world.
Just real weird.
In the world.
I was in the world of Minecraft.
So you pick the little boulders up and shit
Yeah,
yourself?
you could do that. You can, and like the fucking monsters are walking around, and I got my stick, and like you pull up your menu, and the menu's like a floating window,
Punch
and
'em
you're
or
like,
something?
dude, No Man's Sky though.
How
coolest thing
amazing
ever.
are those menus?
Because you have this is how you in the menus in the game. If you're on a controller, it's like you hit a button and it pulls the menu.
It's like a regular menu.
But in VR Felix, you look at your hand and little buttons pop up, and you go, "Oh, I want to open my item
It's
menu."
fucking cool.
Very contextual.
And then I'm like
Very
pointing
sexy.
to all my
I like
menu
that.
items.
I like
And
that.
it looks like it's in the game world because like a hologram pops up and it's like Dead Space style. You know what I mean?
That's
They
way
were, like-
cooler.
How do we?
They mainlined so many fixes and experiences specifically for VR
yeah.
that they could have charged for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Because most games do. Super Hot VR, separate game.
I bought Skyrim VR.
Skyrim VR, separate game.
And like, there's really not that much different than that and No Man's Sky in terms of what they did contextually. Even the menus are a little bit better in No Man's Sky in terms of how they float in front of you in VR. Separate game. Not separate game for No Man's Sky.
Taking your gun out, Felix, reach behind you, and it's in your hand.
I love that.
And like you got trigger grips, right? You got a grip button.
Yeah.
So like
Well, that's how
it
that.
knows.
Reach,
what's-
grab.
What's
There's
the
a thing.
Galactic Pirate shooter game?
The one that
I
Channing
think it's literally
played?
called like Galactic
Space Pirate VR
Pirate or whatever.
trainer.
shooter thing.
That
yeah.
one's the same way. Like to get certain weapons out, you just reach behind and
Yeah.
pull it out. Yeah.
It's nuts. And then on the other hand, has some other controls. The one thing I had a hard time figuring out was putting the scanner on. I was pinging the environment, but I couldn't put my scanner on. I couldn't figure
Oh,
that.
right.
Contextually couldn't
To
figure that out.
find like the deposits and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I never did that when I was in there either, so I don't know how to do that.
I'm very down to revisit that and do more of that. So games I'm gonna get and play. I was gonna say Escape from Tarkov, but I have a whole list
Is
of
that a
games
VR
now.
game?
There is a game that is Counter-Strike VR,
Jesus.
and I don't know what it's called right now.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, I'm booting up Steam right now, but there's a bunch of other games I really want to play. Obviously, Half-Life Alyx, I will be playing when that time comes. And don't worry, I have not pre-ordered it. I'm not breaking my code, even though it is like 10% off right now.
Oh,
But-
is it?
Yeah, for pre-times. All right, we got Arizona Sunshine, which is like a zombie game. It's on my list. Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Bridge Crew
That's a game. If you were
kinda seems like it slaps.
okay, I'm glad to hear you say that
Yeah.
because we got two other people we can do this with.
See, here's the thing.
And I would do it.
I haven't watched hours and hours of the TV show. I've only ever seen, like, I think I've seen 3 out of the 4 The Next Generation movies. I've seen all the new Star Treks. I'm not,
You've never
by
seen
any
the show?
means, a die-hard Star Trek fan. Even though I've seen at least one episode from every
There were
major series.
4 Next Generation movies.
I think so.
Something
Holy
like that.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Ending with Nemesis.
But, like, I don't know. I could fuck with...
What were
with,
Ending with the movie Nemesis.
Yeah, that
Nemesis
was
was
the,
the
end.
last
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What the fuck were they called?
There's Generations. There was
Generations.
Nemesis. There was First Contact, and
That
then
sounds
there
right.
was
Now you're naming them, and I know them all.
Anyway,
anyway.
I don't think I've
But
seen
I
them.
could like the whole experience of flying a ship. Like it has like
with a crew
with a crew
of people that you
that all do their own
communicate with.
thing. Yeah, it's very like there's like it's almost like a Navy simulator at the same
Yeah.
time too. It's like it's got a lot of pull.
Oh, yeah.
a lot of attraction. I could get down with that.
So if there's ever a time you want to do that, because I know Mike and Tim from our server will have already tried playing it together, and I would be down.
Were
if
they
we
like
came
this is cool if we had more people?
Yes, exactly. They were like, and like Tim was the one guy being like, Neo, you got to get a VR headset. You got to do that because they know I'm a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to do this. You got to get it.
Funny random story. That it's weird that you bring this up today too. The new Picard show is coming out.
Yeah, in like a week
And
or two.
there were a couple articles that I saw get posted around the things that I follow saying like, oh, this is where it fits into the timeline. And they mentioned like the Romulan planet or the Romulan supernova that happened in the first of the newest series.
Of
as
the
le-
movies.
Yeah, like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek had
Okay.
an event that like
Yeah, that's
The-
they
affects both of those
the new,
timelines.
and that's a new timeline. Oh, it
Yeah.
affects both timelines.
Yeah, this is in the prime timeline apparently.
Oh, I'm so.
but I
excited.
like shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not obviously like I just said a hardcore fan of the show, but I appreciate story ties in like that. So I went back and watched the first JJ
Movie.
Star Trek
a
last
good movie.
night to like
a good movie.
remember how that event happened, so that when Picard comes out, I might. Picard seems like a cool vibe. I could fuck with Picard.
I'm gonna fuck with Picard, obviously.
You guys are like talking about space shit. Can I bring up something? Is that a tangent if I bring up space shit?
What? Yeah, sure.
I'm telling you, you need to watch Lost in Space.
Oh, the Netflix
Oh yeah,
show.
You
I
need to
tweeted
fucking
about
watch
it, dude. I tweeted about it.
Here's why you need to watch it. I need your expertise, both of you,
Yeah.
on if the science, or at least the science fiction in this movie,
If it's
makes
Sound
sense. If
plausible?
it sounds
Yeah.
plausible. I'm watching it, and Elisa's telling me the whole time, like, she doesn't think any of it's plausible. She thinks it's all
No.
bullshit.
No, definitely not.
And I'm watching it fascinated. Fascinated by
It's
it.
just
Loving
bought
it.
in.
Look,
You're bought in.
But I have no previous context.
Look, it's just
with
fun
really-
sci-fi.
it's
That's all
fun
it
as
is.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
like,
the
movie-
characters are compelling. The stories are really fun. There's drama. There's tension.
You watch it.
I've seen the whole thing.
I'm not caught up.
I've seen
don't spoil it.
all 2 seasons of it.
I just started second season. So
Yeah, Christmas Day. This is gonna sound real pathetic, but like that's like what I did. I watched season 2. It was great.
That's
why
not
is that
pathetic.
pathetic?
I don't know because people do things on Christmas. I don't know. I
Christmas
went to a
Day
party
one
the
year,
before.
I watched the entire Dark Knight trilogy,
It's a good day.
and I found out
Whatever works.
that in
Lord of the
reality,
Rings, why not?
no. Here's what I
Celebrate
learned.
in
Though.
your own way.
I found out Batman Begins good, Dark Knight actually good. Didn't think it was good before that day, and then Dark Knight Returns is still or
Rises.
Rises is still shit.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's what I determined.
Well, Fire
Anyway,
Rises,
two more VR games I'm going to shout out I want to play. Asgard's Wrath.
Okay.
That's been getting real high marks as being like a really cool action adventure-ish RPG. God simulator, kind of.
Okay.
Lots of cool things. Definitely check it out.
Pavlov's Wrath.
Asgard's Wrath.
Asgard's.
Pavlov is the
shooter.
Counter-Strike
Yeah.
shooter. Yes. Asgard's Wrath is the other one. It takes place. It's like a Norse game. Like you're Norse stuff. You're doing
Makes
Norse things.
I mean, Asgard's in there.
And of course, let's see what else I had here. I had Moss. I heard was really good. That came out on PSVR.
Moss, the little cute mouse explorer VR game.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Where
then
you
I'm
guide the mouse along his little path in VR. You just look at him.
I'm gonna look into Blade and Sorcery more, but I want to see a cool like maybe just do Skyrim VR, but like I want a cool RPG like game to play. I didn't get lost in. You know,
Dude,
Skyrim
I
did do it.
hated paying for it again.
Yeah, I got it.
But
I
then
don't
when
wanna
I
do
was in
that.
there, I was like, I don't regret buying this game for the
not good.
17th time. So
Matt, my requirements are essentially I want a good slashy game. I want a good shooty game. That's what I want. And then of course Half-Life.
Skyrim with dual wielding freehand swords because of VR is a game changer. It's broken actually. Like all you have to do is like whip your hands around and everything in front of you is just dead.
Sweet.
It's kind of broken.